Tonight, the SGA addresses parking problems at Sorority Hill.
Plus, one sorority raised awareness for domestic violence. Stay tuned, Troy. TrojanVision Nightly News starts now.
From the high-definition digital production center on the Troy campus, with news from Troy University locations around the world, this is Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Nightly News for October 3rd, 2012. I'm Justin McNeely.
And I'm Bailey Majors. Thank you for joining us this evening. It's not a parking lot, it's more of a parking area behind Troy University's sorority houses. Last night, the Student Government Association made the first step in fixing the parking problem. Judson Garner has more.
The parking situation behind Troy University's sorority houses is not ideal for the many students involved in the Greek life organizations.
If you wanted to go off-roading, you would not have to go that far. You could go drive around behind the sorority houses because there's just potholes.
Last night, the SGA approved a committee to officially explore the parking problem and find ways to fix it. Senators have confirmed that the main reason why parking is so troublesome behind the houses is due to the parking lot technically not being a parking lot.
I talked to Dean Reeves, and he told me that that was not meant to be permanent parking.
Besides parking, the actual road behind the houses was noted for needing renovation. The SGA senators say inconvenience for students is an issue, but also is insignificant when compared to potential risk factors involving the unregulated parking space.
Because there's no established parking lot, everyone is able to just park as they wish, and so what that ends up being is a clump of about 50 cars, just every which way you can imagine. Wherever they can find a grass patch, they're parking.
Unregulated parking and potholes in roads are also causing damage to students' vehicles.
Mine personally had to get towed out last semester because it got stuck in the huge pothole, but I'm sure there are always something going on.
Judson Garner, Troy TrojanVision News.
The committee did not give a timeline of when they may be able to resolve the parking issue.
And the Student Government Association also approved a new committee last night to discuss pets on campus. SGA Committee Head of Constitution and Rules Bradley Deal says there are no current policies in place regarding pets on campus. Deal says that students should not worry about any major policies being implemented anytime soon against their furry friends.
It's not to take pets off of campus. It's not to remove them from campus at all.
The administration to discuss potential hazards involving animals on campus.
Child abuse is a very serious subject, but yesterday one Troy University sorority was able to have a little fun while still raising awareness about the issue. Tuesday afternoon, Kappa Delta sorority held their first ever Carnival on the Quad in hopes to raise awareness about domestic violence.
We've invited Big Brothers Big Sisters program, the Boys and Girls Club, and the children who are in foster care to come out to the quad and just really enjoy a carnival.
Our point 3 is Prevent Child Abuse America, and so we like to get the kids actually involved with us.
Members of Kappa Delta and other organizations say that the carnival was a good way for kids in the Troy community to have fun, while the sorority was able to inform others about the dangers of domestic violence.
Troy area is actually has the #1 reported cases in the state of child abuse. A lot of people don't know that, and so this is a good way to bring awareness to that and to help those kids, have confidence in themselves.
It makes you aware that there's people out there that maybe go through things that you don't go through, and that you can help them, or maybe they've been through the same experiences you have, and you can help them that way.
For when they grow up, they want to be more involved with their community, and they're more confident because they were helped out when they were younger by people who are older than them and are trying to be successful.
And though this is the first year that KD has held the carnival, they hope to continue having the event and get more people and organizations involved.
I think, in the subsequent years it's going to be really good and people are going to get really involved.
Don't want it just to be a Greek thing. We want other organizations and even people who aren't in an organization to come out and help us participate, because it's for the community. It's not for us as organizations.
Kappa Delta wrapped up a teddy bear collection drive for child abuse victims today. The KDs delivered the bears to the Troy Police Department this afternoon. We'll have more on the drive tomorrow on Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
And the Office of Career Services has been preparing all year to help some students get a job. Rachel Scarborough has a preview of this year's career fair.
On Thursday, employers from around the state will be at Troy University for the biannual career fair. Coordinator of Career Services says that preparing ahead of time will make all the difference.
I would suggest that they plot their course, figure out really who they want to target first and second, and make sure they utilize their time as well as they can.
There's one important thing that all students should bring to the career fair.
I think it's really great if students will bring a resume with them to the career fair. So one of the best things to do is make sure your resume is in shape.
What type of companies should students expect to see?
Among the companies, we have some businesses that are involved in banking, some companies that would be great for criminal justice majors, just businesses type, just a wide variety of employers.
The career fair is just not for seniors. Any classification can come, and even alumni are invited.
We really encourage freshmen, sophomores, everybody to come. The more often they see these employers every year, the better. All alumni are invited to come as well.
To hopefully land the job of your dreams, you need to dress for success.
We want students to dress professionally. That doesn't necessarily mean they have to wear a full-out suit, but just something we'd say business casual.
Rachel Scarborough, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The career fair will be tomorrow in the Trojan Center ballrooms from 9 a.m. to noon.
And now taking a look at news from around the state. In Montgomery, the governor is asking for federal assistance for 5 more counties affected by Hurricane Isaac. Governor Robert Bentley sent a letter to the Federal Emergency Management Agency saying Covington, Dallas, Geneva, Monroe, and Perry counties in South and West Alabama suffered from $2.5 million in damages.
And in Birmingham, police say 2 people are in custody after a wreck that killed 3 people. Authorities say the family members were killed when a car fleeing a robbery slammed into their vehicle in Birmingham.
And in Asheville, authorities are awaiting the results of a mental test before deciding whether to ask a judge to certify a teenager to stand trial as an adult in the hanging of his 9-year-old half-sister. The St. Clair County District Attorney says the findings should be available in time for a decision next month on how to proceed.
Still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News, a speech that President Obama made 5 years ago is still stirring up criticism. We'll have more on that story after the break.
But first in sports, we're only halfway through football season, but we're already preparing for basketball season. Danielle Percival will have a look at the women's team after the break.
The women's basketball team may not have hit the court in the new arena yet, but practice did begin today for the season. I'm Danielle Percival. I'll have that story coming up.
Hi, I'm Mia Hamm. As a professional soccer player, I know how rewarding sports can be and how quickly injuries happen. So I've teamed up with the American Association of Orthodontists to ask athletes to play it safe. With my years of training, I know what it takes to become an expert, and orthodontists do too. They're the experts who help people obtain healthy, beautiful smiles. Wear mouth guards, face masks, and helmets to prevent injuries. Keep smiling and visit braces.org.
Our Troy program is one of the largest in Troy University. So whether students take classes in Tennessee or in South Korea or Japan or Vietnam, there is no difference in quality.
Get your degree on your terms with eTroy online degree programs. Flexible, accredited, respected across the globe. Troy University. It's all you need to know.
My name is Dr. Lee, Troy University College of Education, and I choose Troy.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
And now for a look at what's happening across the nation and around the world, we'll go to Justin McNally at the Global News Desk. Justin.
Thanks, Bailey. A speech President Obama gave 5 years ago is drawing fresh criticism as he and Mitt Romney prepare for tonight's presidential debate. Tara Mergener has the latest details from the White House.
Conservative media outlets billed it as a bombshell tape, a 2007 campaign speech where then Senator Obama criticizes the Bush administration's response to Hurricane Katrina.
What's happening down in New Orleans? Where's your dollar? Tells me that somehow the people down in New Orleans, they don't care about as much.
Speaking to a predominantly black audience, then candidate Obama suggested the government was withholding recovery money based on race. He said after other major disasters, the government cut through the red tape to provide aid.
We're not going to wait for you to scratch it together because you're part of the American family.
Conservative commentators say the president's speech was racially charged and divisive. It did not cause controversy when it was covered 5 years ago, and a senior advisor to Mitt Romney's campaign was asked whether it is relevant to the current election.
Voters have to make that up. They have to look at that video and they have to make up their mind on that individually.
The White House has not commented about the video, but a senior Obama campaign advisor talked about it on CBS this morning.
Look, if the Republicans want to defend the Bush administration's response to Katrina, I'm sure the president would give them his time during the debate to do that.
An Obama campaign spokesman called the video release an attempt to change the subject from Romney's comments made in a video that surfaced last month. He said 47% of Americans are dependent on the government. Tara Mergener for CBS News, the White House.
UCLA researchers are using a gene therapy to restore the immune systems of children with so-called bubble boy disease. Teresa Garcia has more on the breakthrough research.
The Ainsley family has been dealing with a rare disease since their son was born.
He started getting really bad cough, vomiting, and throwing up.
5-year-old Colton has severe combined immunodeficiency, or SCID, also known as bubble boy disease. He's missing a gene needed for his immune system to develop. Kids with the condition are extremely vulnerable to viruses and bacteria and can die within 1 to 2 years if not treated. Until now, a bone marrow transplant or lifelong enzyme injections were the only options. But now UCLA researchers are using an experimental gene therapy with low-dose chemotherapy.
So take some bone marrow from the SCID baby and then in the laboratory add back to it a normal copy of the gene that they're missing that's causing SCID, and then transplanting them back with their own bone marrow.
Doctors estimate just 30 to 40 kids are born every year in the U.S. with SCID. There was a 1 in 4 chance Colton's little sister Abigail would be born with the genetic disease.
We knew right away. They did a blood test as soon as she was born.
She had gene therapy treatment at just a few months old. Her parents say you'd never know the 14-month-old was sick.
She's definitely doing a lot better than he is because we caught her so young.
Colton just started kindergarten.
We're able to go do whatever we want to do. We're not isolated in the house anymore.
The Ainsleys hope this experimental treatment will help their children keep living normal lives. Teresa Garcia, CBS News, Los Angeles.
And that wraps things up from the Global News Desk. To see more stories from across the country and around the world, such as the focuses of President Obama and Mitt Romney's first televised debate, you can tune into TrojanVision Global News right after the nightly news. Now, back to you, Bailey.
Thanks, Justin. And now Danielle Percival joins us for a look at sports. So, Danielle, we have several Trojan sports teams in action already, but we're getting ready for one team to start the beginning of their season.
That's right, Bailey. We're still a month away from basketball season, but the women's team did hit the court today, getting started with practice, so let's take a look at it.
All right.
The WNBA Finals are just around the corner. Bet you didn't even know. But more importantly, Trojan women's basketball is too. Not only is there a new coaching staff, but the Trojans will be playing in the new Trojan Arena to begin a new era. The women took to the court today in Sartain Hall preparing for their upcoming season. Head coach Shonda Rigby has been working to implement a new system with the Trojans. One of the biggest changes being the new up-tempo, fast-break offense and full-court press defense. And if you're interested in watching the Trojan basketball teams in person in the new Trojan Arena, season tickets have gone on sale. Tickets are available online at TroyTrojans.com and at the Tyne Davis Fieldhouse. Season tickets include admission to all home men's and women's basketball games. Single-game basketball tickets will go on sale October 15th. After a 3-9 season last year, the Trojan football team knows what it's like to face adversity. But this year, they seem to be making adjustments and moving in the right direction. With a total offense that ranks second in the Sun Belt, averaging 498 yards per game, the Trojans should have it made, right? But when you're last in the Sun Belt in turnover margin at -7, the numbers start to cancel out. However, the Trojans have marched on and are 2-1 in the league.
Adversity happens, and how you overcome it shows where you are as a team. I think that the way we're winning and still having those turnovers shows a lot about how we handle adversity. And I think this is a really good team of pushing through the bad.
Troy had 5 turnovers in last week's game against South Alabama, and while the weather could have played a factor, head coach Larry Blakeney knows that's a number they have to bring down in order to be successful.
If we were close to averaging 1 or 2 turnovers a game and 50 yards in penalties, I say we'd be undefeated. And so that tells you a lot. We got to somehow find a way to coach this team, coach that kind of negativity out of this football team.
The Trojans are undefeated away from home and one of only 5 teams in the NCAA who are 3-0 on the road. But the Trojans have yet to win at home this season, though there have been opportunities.
We've had a chance to be a lot better than that. We could be 5-0 and or 4-1. That's a little better. And 3-2 is where we are. You know, any coach that tells you would have had goals to win, to have any record except win them all, probably lying to you.
Through 5 games, the Trojans have won as many games this season as they did the entire year in 2011. And Blakeney says the team is heading in the right direction.
I like where this football team is. You know, I'd like to be undefeated, but, you know, this football team is, if we'll keep working and we'll keep getting better, then we got a chance.
The Trojans have a week off to rest and prepare for a midweek matchup. The Trojans will take on Western Kentucky on Thursday, October 11th at 6:30 at home. The volleyball team is peaking at the right time, having won 3 straight conference matches, moving to 3-1 this season in the Sun Belt. Overall, the Trojans are 12-7 and have already seen a season of first-time victories over Sun Belt schools. The Trojans beat Middle Tennessee for the first time in their first weekend of conference play and followed that up with their first ever win against Florida International. This weekend, they'll be looking for another first against Arkansas State.
We're beating them, so you know, we get to try to make history again, and that's kind of exciting. We've never played well in Jonesboro. Don't know what it is. Hopefully we can turn it around this year.
The Trojans and the Red Wolves will meet on the court in Jonesboro Saturday at 7. The women's soccer team could probably take some tips from the volleyball team. The soccer team has dropped 5 straight and fallen to 0-3 in conference play. They did only have 1 game this weekend, but in that match the Trojans lost 5-1 to North Texas. They haven't been able to score more than 2 goals since their second game of the season. However, head coach Chris Bentley is confident in his team's ability to turn things around.
We're looking at one game at a time, and we've played some very good teams, two of the top teams in the conference here in the last couple weeks. So I don't think we're really looking at it like it's some awful thing. I think we just looked at it from a standpoint we can learn from it, and we'll try to bring the best we can this Friday.
The Trojans return home this weekend to take on Arkansas State on Friday. That game will be at 3 p.m. at the Trojan Soccer Complex. So Justin Bailey, exciting to see the women's basketball team taking the court. Of course, they're still in Sartain Hall right now, but it'll be exciting for basketball season to get here and to be able to go to the new Trojan Arena and see the team in action.
Absolutely. Always good to support the Trojans, and especially in the awesome new facility that we have.
That's right. It'll be very exciting to go over there and be able to cheer for the team.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Coming up on TrojanVision Nightly News, we'll learn about how you can help victims of child abuse.
But first, it felt like fall all week long with cooler temperatures. Are these cool temps here to stay? Bree?
We have been experiencing those cooler temperatures, but they may not be here to stay just yet. I'll have more coming up in weather.
He serves his party best who serves the country best. Rutherford B. Hayes.
Patriotism is easy to understand in America. It means looking out for yourself by looking out for your country. Calvin Coolidge.
Government is the people's business, and every man, woman, and child becomes a shareholder with the first penny of tax paid. Ronald Reagan.
There's nothing wrong in America that can't be fixed of what is right in America. William Clinton.
Be the we now.
Come on, let's go.
Hey. Hey, hi, what's your name? You live around here? You're pretty. Where are you guys going? Where are you going? Where are you going?
Guess it's about time to get you fixed, sweetie.
Your pets will start getting noticed sooner than you think. Accidental litters lead to millions killed in shelters each year. Help prevent more. Fix at month 4.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
And now Bree Sanders joins us for a look at weather.
So Bree, I mean, it's been cool temperatures all week long instead of the hot, humid 90s. What are we looking at for the rest of the week? Are we going to see the rest of those cooler temperatures?
Well, for the beginning of this week, we have been experiencing those cooler temperatures, but it seems as though for the end of the week and as we head into the weekend, those warm temperatures will be coming back into our area, but I'll get more into that in just a moment. First, let's take a look at our campus snapshot. Right now on campus, we see the sun setting right over Bibb Graves, so whether you're headed to class or headed home from work, you can definitely stay outside and enjoy the view. Current conditions right now in our area, we have partly cloudy skies, temperatures at 75 degrees, dew points at 56 degrees, humidity is at 51%, barometers at 30.12 inches and steady, winds are coming in from the west at about 10 miles per hour. Today's stats, we had a high today of 75 degrees, a low of 59. There was no rain today. The sun rises at 6:34 a.m. and it should set at 6:25 p.m. Looking at our temperatures around the state, overall the state is experiencing some mid-70-degree temperatures right now, but Mobile coming in with a high at 80. Huntsville, Birmingham, and Montgomery coming in at 74. Troy at 75. Phoenix City and Dothan coming in at 74. Looking at our temperatures around the southeast in our area, we're experiencing some lower 70-degree temperatures right now, and as we head throughout the rest of the southeast, those temperatures increase significantly into about the mid to lower 80s right there in the Carolinas. Looking at our current temperatures around the United States here on the West Coast, like yesterday, California experiencing almost 100-degree temperatures here at 95, but other parts of California, a 20-degree difference into about those mid-70s as well. And as we take a look at Arizona, they are flirting with 105-degree temperatures right now, a lot different from what we've been seeing lately. Those summer temperatures staying in their area for now. Looking at the current surface map, they have a few heavy to moderate rain systems along their area, as well as a few low pressure systems going on. But as we take a closer look in our area, we have a few light winds in our area. Looking at this cold front that came through a few days ago, pushing off into the Atlantic, also bringing along those rain conditions that we had earlier this week and some of the weekend. Precipitation forecast over the next 48 hours in our area, we shouldn't be expecting any rain, but as we see other parts of the southeast, as well as parts of Georgia, as well as the Carolinas and Florida experiencing almost a fourth of an inch to about half an inch of rain in their area. Departure from normal, we're about the same temperature as we've been for the past few days right now as we go into tomorrow. Still no rain in our area, but like I said earlier, the East Coast experiencing a lot of rain going on right now, as well as other parts of the state, especially experiencing some windy conditions right here in Iowa as we go into Friday. Still no rain in our area, but we do see these rain systems forming right along the Midwest, right above Tennessee, possibly headed towards our way certain parts of next week. Definitely be on the lookout for that. As we begin our weekend on Saturday, we see that rain begins to push down further into the southeast, covering Tennessee as a whole and touching right at the most northern part of our state. As we close out our weekend on Sunday, however, that rain jumps over our state and heads into about the northeastern part of the states, so we still shouldn't be expecting any rain, not just yet anyway. Tonight's forecast, we have clear skies in our area. Winds light and variable coming in from the east-northeast at about 2 miles per hour with a low of 58 degrees. So tonight will be much like last night. It'll be kind of windy outside, so you can grab that light jacket with you if you want, but it won't be too cool. For tomorrow's forecast, we have mostly sunny skies. A few clouds in our area, about a 10% chance of rain. UV index will be very high tomorrow. Winds coming in from the northeast at about 5 miles per hour with a high of 85 degrees. So tomorrow will be much like today, except for it'll be a little bit warmer. We're going back into those mid-80-degree temperatures, so it doesn't look like those fall temperatures are here to stay just yet. As we take a look at our 4-day forecast, over the next 3 days, we will be getting back up into those mid to upper 80-degree temperatures as we head into Thursday. The high gets to about 85 degrees with a low of 59. On Friday, it creeps right back up to about 87 with a low of 59. As we go into our weekend on Saturday, that high gets to right at 89, flirting with those 90-degree temperatures again. That low gets to 60. And on Sunday, that high gets to 79, about a 10-degree difference from what we've seen Saturday. So, Justin, all this week we've seen a lot of cooler temperatures, but it looks like as we head into the weekend and maybe even the beginning of next week, those temperatures will get a little bit warmer, almost as if we're going back into those summer temperatures back in the 90 degrees. So I wouldn't say those fall temperatures are here to stay just yet.
Well, I mean, I can't be happy for that. I don't like the hot weather that much, but it was good having it while we did, and no rain in the forecast either for the next couple of days. Can't get any better than that.
Exactly.
Right.
I agree.
Thank you, Bree.
You're welcome.